Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to, I guess, the final part of the Rambo marathon. Technically, it did end with the Rambo Last Blood review, but this is, something that I do now for every marathon that I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be ranking all the films. I'm going to be going back to, like, the earlier ones that I did, and be doing ranking videos for them. And so, obviously, today, we're going to be doing the ranking of all five, Rambo movies, you know, and um, I think over the course of these reviews, you guys could most likely tell how the order is going to go. Um, but um, I there might be a few surprises in there for you guys. I mean, I already know it because I created the list for myself. But yeah, this is one that's gonna be a little bit shorter than the Star Trek ranking review. You know, especially the fact that I didn't have to cover. I don't. I'm only covering 5 movies for this, which means I could probably go more into depth about why I put the films in the certain rankings, unlike with the Star Trek rankings review, where I had 13 movies to, well, no, technically 14 movies to rank, because I included Galaxy Quest, and, I kind of wanted to make that very quick. Um, but now, since I'm only going to be talking about 5 movies for this list, I have a little bit more time to kind of go into depth about um, why um, I put them in their respective places on this list. But I'm just gonna say now, if you guys want my full-on opinions about why I put them in the certain rankings, just go and watch the reviews. Um, but yeah, so these are gonna be basically the short reviews that, if you don't have time to watch like maybe like a 30 to 40 minute video, this is the place to kind of figure out why I either like or don't like these movies. That's mostly the reason why I do the rankings in the first place. To kind of get my points off a little bit quicker, a little bit easier in case, people don't have time to watch a 40-minute review. They can come and just watch a 13-minute video that have individual points about why I have them in their respective places. Um, but yeah, with the rules out of the way, um, let's get on to this list, shall we? Alright, so let's start with the ranking at number 5, which I probably made it most apparent in my review of this film, and that is Rambo, also known as John Rambo in international countries. Yes, I think this is my least favorite I almost said Star Trek movie, Rambo movie, and comparing this film to the next film I'm going to be talking about, they say there's a significant step up from this film and the next film. Now, the reason why I put this film at, in last place is mainly the fact that this film is just so dark. Like, not in like like this film is this film is brutal. Um, you know, and there's some ways that you can do it, right, which I mentioned in the reviews for both this movie and the Last Blood review. This is the way that you do it in kind of a wrong way. The Last Blood is how you do it in a right way. Um, like Last Blood is like you need to incorporate your plot around it in a good way for it to work. This film is literally just saying, hey, you know that stuff that's going on right now? Let's just make a Rambo movie and have it all about that. And I don't think this was the best option to go with. Um, you know, if they just had basically what they did with the with most of the Rambo movies, um, around the, like, well, actually no, just most of the Rambo movies in general, if they just made an original plot, I think this film would have been significantly more up on this list. Maybe around like fourth or third place. Um, but it was just the fact that it mainly just took stuff that was going on as when this film was in production, and took it to the extreme, and which is something I don't really like that much. Um, while I think um this film did, taking something that's going on at the time of the film's production and making it into a movie in a bad way was this film. I think Rambo 3, which I did mention in the review, I think did it in the right way, and I'll be talking about that later on. But yeah, in terms of Rambo or John Rambo, um, I think this is not how you make a Rambo movie. I don't think making the villains into brutal bad guys who are just straight up douchebags, who don't care who's in their way. They just want to kill people and have and rape anyone who's in their way, besides males, obviously. Like women, rape them, men and children, mostly kill, along with women as well. So, yeah, that's why I put Rambo, or AKA John Rambo, at number 5. Now, number 4 is a significant step up from John Rambo, but um, in terms of a Rambo movie, it's pretty generic. And that film is Rambo First Blood Part 2. Um, yeah, so this is a significant step up from John Rambo, in my opinion. I gave this a 7 out of 10, and I still stand by that. I did forget to mention that I gave this film a 4 out of 10 on review, and I still stand by that, along with this film. Because even though this is a generic action movie from the 1980s, that's why I really like it. Granted, it's not a very good Rambo movie per se. I think this is the film that kind of signified the fact that he was a muscle bound, tough guy who rarely gets injured. You know, he might get captured and tortured, but he's still gonna come out alive. He's still gonna, come out and kick everyone's butts, and he's gonna ultimately win. I think this was the quintessential movie that emphasized that. But in terms of a Rambo movie per se, this isn't really that good. Let's all be honest. This film is just a generic action movie that came out in the mid 1980s and was almost following like every trend that was going around at the time. Still, though, it's a very fun action flick, and I still recommend this to anyone who wants to get into the Rambo franchise. I still recommend this. But in terms of an actual quality Rambo movie, I don't think this film really holds up to the standards, but I still think this is a very entertaining movie to watch. And if you guys can find it, I highly recommend it. At number 3 is the most recent Rambo movie, Rambo Last Blood. Now I gave this film a 8 out of 10. Mostly, the rest of these movies are gonna be actually a 8 out of 10. So you guys are most likely gonna know what my second and first place choices are going to be. But you know, now that I said that Rambo Last Blood is my third place, um, but yeah, I just think that this is what John Rambo should have been. I feel like if they were trying to actually make a brutal Rambo movie, I think this is how they should have done it. Not, hey, let's just make the bad guys super evil and have them rape women and almost kill everything that's in their way by raiding villages, and let's just have Rambo step in. That's not how you do a Rambo movie. That's how you make a generic action movie that when you play it, it's, not going to please everyone. This is a Rambo movie that does everything that John Rambo did right. Like, this is how you make a brutal ass Rambo movie. And I think this film significantly is improved over John Rambo. But still, I still have a few problems with it. But in terms of a Rambo movie, this is an excellent choice. I think if you really want to get into the Rambo franchise, I think you should start off with the first film, Rambo 2, or Rambo First Blood Part 2, or Rambo 3. But if you once you start getting really into it, I think this will be the best choice to go next to. And then if you really want to watch all of them, then go and watch Rambo 4. But I think this isn't the film to start off with, but I think when you really get into the Rambo franchise, I think this would be an excellent choice. Now, you guys may have noticed something. Like, I can't put First Blood at number 2. So, like, it's, you know, a masterpiece. So, you guys probably know what's my second choice is, which I made very clear in rev- my review of Rambo 3. Rambo 3 is my second favorite Rambo movie. I think, I'm not saying that Rambo 2 is a bad movie, but I'm going to say that this film is everything that Rambo 2 did for the generic action genre. I think this film does it way better. And so that's why I put it above, Last Blood and Rambo First Blood Part 2. Now, I have heard that this is the black sheep out of the franchise, and I don't know why, because this film is amazing. Um, I just feel like one thing I did forget to mention in the review itself is the chemistry between John Rambo and Colonel Troutman. Um, I just think that this film, really uh, caps off, the relationship between Rambo and Troutman. With Troutman being captured and Rambo going in to save him, I think this is the the ultimate cap off to the relationship between Rambo and Troutman. Um, but yeah, like I said earlier, I think this is the Rambo movie that you wouldn't you it's basically saying, hey, you know that everything that we did in First Blood Part 2, let's just do that, everything that we did in this movie, but make it a little bit better. And that's why I put this film in my number 2 spot, and I gave this film an 8 out of 10, and it's still sticking by that. Now, obviously, with all the films out of the way, it's most likely, um, no, you know, like everyone knows what my first pick is. It's First Blood. This has to be number 1. This is the best Rambo movie and a near masterpiece of action. I think this is, I think if anyone wants to get into the Rambo franchise, this is the film to start off with. Especially the fact that this was the first Rambo movie ever made. And, I think this is a perfect option to start off with. Now, I did give this film an 8 out of 10 when I first did a review on it. I would actually change that to a 9 out of 10 because, even though I put, Rambo 3 and Rambo Last Blood with this 8 out of 10 as well, I honestly think that Rambo for the First Blood is such a masterpiece that it deserves to have a 9 out of 10. And it's actually slowly starting to become one of my favorite movies of all time. Just because it's actually, for an action movie, it's pretty short at only 93 minutes, so you can actually watch this pretty quickly. Um, but like this is like I think this is the perfect Rambo movie to watch, any day, and yeah, like I said earlier, it's starting to become one of my favorite movies of all time. And as I showed in the review, this is the only Rambo movie that I have multiple copies of. I obviously have the 4K as usual, but I also have a steelbook version a and the retro VHS cover that Walmart did as an exclusive. Which is showed you how much I love this movie. That I have 3 separate versions of the film itself. Um, Obviously I had to get the 4K because it's a 4K, and actually the picture for all of the first 3 Rambo movies looks spectacular on 4K. Rambo 4, I'm not really sure about. I'm sure about because I, you know, have only seen it in 4K, so I don't really know how the Blu-ray transfer was supposed to look. From what I've heard, it's a very kind of bland color mixture. And then Rambo Last Blood, since it's like a brand new movie, kind of, it's you really shouldn't get the 4K. Just might as well get the Blu-ray because the 4K of Last Blood is basically just an upscale. While 4Ks of classic movies are true 4K. And this is no exception. But yeah, and so I'm gonna reclassify this film as a 9 out of 10. This is a near perfect action movie and a near masterpiece, and I think everyone should watch it. So yeah, guys, so that was my Rambo list. I bet this is probably a little bit surprising that I actually put Rambo 3 so high. I mean, if you guys haven't watched the review of Rainbow 3, which most of you probably haven't, um, this is a comes as a little bit of surprise that I put Rainbow 3 so high, especially above, Rambo First Blood Part 2 and, um, John Rambo or even Last Blood. But I just think that it's so good of a movie that I don't think many people even really talk about it in the good light. They just call it the black sheep of the franchise. Um, I actually think that John Rambo is the worst one by far. Um, but yeah, so yeah, guys, that was the ranking for all 5 Rambo movies. Um, if you guys want to check out the reviews for my full in-depth reviews, I do make playlists for all of the franchises that I do for Russell's movie reviews, while all the individual reviews will be on a separate playlist that has all of the reviews in one neat little package. But all the franchises that I do, like Jaws, Star Trek, and now the Rambo series, are all in a neat little playlist with all the reviews, including their respective rankings, which I will be doing the Jaws ranking soon, probably tomorrow. Um, but yeah, so that was the ranking for all the Rambo movies. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content by yours truly. And if you like this sort of thing, hit that like button down there and follow me at Facebook and Instagram for, um, generally channel updates and when, new videos come out, like the rankings for the Rambo movies. And in terms of reviews, I do have another one, a individual review planned up. Um, I have a script kind of planned out. I just need to get the information for it. In terms of individual reviews, I still need to try and figure that out. Tomorrow will be, I will release the Jaws ranking since I haven't done that yet. Um, and yeah, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for tomorrow for um for the Jaws ranking review. And now, if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I will be having a channel update on when the new schedule releases for uh when when new individual reviews are coming out, and maybe for a vote for which marathon I would do next. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed and have a great day, everyone. Live long, prosper, out.